Hi, I'm Reena Zager, and I'm in the twilight of my career. It's been a good career, actually. I work in TV, I live in New York City, and I'm a good friend of Sarah Greer's. I've seen her show 3 times, and each time I see something different in it. And what else can I say about it? Sorry, that's just the beginning. All right.
Yeah. So let's talk about.
I'll tell you each time.
For 3 times. What do you think about the show? And do you think it has merit for people to give money to, so it lives with Nanny?
Sarah has a very interesting story to tell, because a lot of people deal with adoption, but they not necessarily have a relationship with both their birth mother and their adopted mother. She's has a very unusual story about that threesome and how that sort of informed her whole life. And is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to take a breather between each.
Yeah, and what do you think about,
and how does it fit into mental illness?
Yeah, let's talk about, in your words, how you think Sarah might be mentally ill, and how you think that Nanny would be a perfect place for her because of that, and that the show deals with all of her pathological extremes. What do you think of Sarah Elizabeth Greer?
How do you pronounce the name of the organization? NAMI?
No, I say NAMI, but
NAMI. NAMI? Is it N-A-M-E?
N-A-M-I.
N-A-M-I. NAMI.
National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Okay. Sarah Greer and NAMI are a perfect fit because Sarah exhibits a lot of pathological behavioral issues. If you see the show, there's a lot of energy in it. You could say she's bipolar, maybe, that she has a manic aspect to herself. And you're going to learn how she goes after celebrities in a pathological way. Some would say stalking, which is illegal in a lot of states. Sarah's done it in many states: Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts probably. I know you went to school in Massachusetts. And she's the best side of mental illness, without all the horrible things that most people have to really deal with. She's alive, and you just see the show, and the last time I saw her show, her movements were so precise. It was like somebody who maybe hasn't slept in 2 weeks. So there's all that. You sure this is the right direction you want to go in? You're not making fun of people? Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
That is hilarious! Keep going!
Well, Sarah and I are both very intense people, so that's why I fell in love with her. And the story she would tell me, we met taking walks in Central Park, and the story she was telling me, my mouth was hanging open. I go, oh my God, this woman. Well, I mean, should I talk about how she thought maybe my ex-boyfriend was from outer space? She asked me if I thought if he was maybe a Martian. Sarah asked me if I thought that my ex-boyfriend was an alien, and I didn't know Sarah very well, and I turned around like, what? You're asking me if he's from another planet? He also has a lot of emotional problems, but everybody has emotional problems. I like people with emotional problems. I can relate to that. But even if you don't have a lot of emotional problems, you will love the show, because you look at her and you go, well, better her than me. I mean, if you're not mentally ill, you go, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with, and thank God it's not me or anybody in my family. But as someone that loves emotional issues and intensity, it's such a great show. It's a very unique show. Like I said before, this is a story you don't hear every day, of having a relationship with your birth mother for 20 years. That's unusual, don't you think? And what does the adopted mother think of the birth mothers? And what is the relationship between those two? The other thing is, I'll tell you if you could use any of this. The first time I saw a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I saw Sarah's show for the first time. And I was completely taken by it. I was gripped. It was gripping. And it was just her on the stage for an hour and a half. And at the end of the show, her birth mother came out and they did a majorette routine, and I burst out crying. It was so emotional. It was such a surprise. Okay, that wasn't good enough for Sarah. She didn't like that version, even though everybody gave her a standing ovation, and it was remarkable to me. She didn't like it. So she rewrote the whole thing. She did it again. And now she had her birth mother and her adopted mother as Greek goddesses. I thought, well, that's interesting. Okay, I like that. Then I saw it again. And again, it was revised, but it had like texts. Then she had more graphics. It's a work in progress. It's her life's work, this show. It is deserved of Broadway, I think. Off-Broadway. Take out the off, cross out the off, Broadway, I meant. No, I meant Broadway. It is deserving of Broadway. It is. But she's upset because her birth mother and adopted mother, who were both in, one's 75, and one is, 60? And they live in Amish country in Pennsylvania, and they don't want to fucking travel. And you're upset that she really thinks that this is going to ruin the show, that they've decided to not continue with the show. But I think this means that the show has legs.
Say it again without fucking.
Okay.
Because I love that though.
Yeah, but you don't want to bleep.
It was quite good.
Yeah, it's really good. So go back to how I'm upset and that the
I
mother's
can see how you were a stand-up.
Isn't she hilarious? This is fucking genius.
It is. It's
You
really
are fucking brilliant.
good. She said you're the smartest person.
Oh, please.
And you're one of the funniest on the planet.
Oh, well, thank you.
Reena.
But not professionally.
Reena, you have such a crazy gift.
When I retire,
It's
I'm
nuts.
gonna go back to it when I retire.
I hope you do it before.
Okay.
Okay?
This is what's unbelievable about Sarah. Her mothers, who are, one of them's elderly, she's 75 years old, and she lives in the middle of Pennsylvania. She wants out of the show. The other mother had problems with her foot and doesn't want to do the show. She's upset. She thinks her whole life is ruined. And I sat and I told her, this is better. You don't have to drag two old ladies around with you across the country to do the show. Now the show has legs. Now you can do a version with it. You still have the videotape, you have the pop-ups, you have all the things. You don't need the actual mothers on stage. They're just holding you back from taking this on the road. So she thinks it's, oh my God, it's the end of the story, and really angry at them. Can you believe they don't want to, I'm like, they have their own lives. They live in New Holland, Pennsylvania, or wherever they live. They don't want to keep doing this. They have their own lives. Your adopted mother's 75 years old. You want her to go and get on a train and then get on a ferry to Nantucket. You're spending thousands of dollars to board them and feed them. This way you have a new compact show. Hopefully it's the last version of it. I don't think it will be, because I know you now 6-7 years. It's never done. But I want to see it done. I want to see it locked in. You're so talented. I want to see it something where you can take it and put it anywhere so that eventually it can be on Broadway. That's her dream, and I want to see it happen.